prefer if I will be sharing from my PowerPoint presentation which I had used, which I had created earlier, Prabhu. It's a part of the larger one seminar called Adhyatma Deepam, in which we covered also the science of Shabda.
Sure.
Yeah, so that is something which I will be sharing. But for some purport and other things, I would prefer that if someone
Whether
can
this.
share.
Yeah. I will do
One
that.
of the
I will do that.
reasons is, I mean, yeah, if I am able to focus on maybe devotees asking questions or something, right? So that will be possible. So that's the reason I need some help from some devotees. Maybe you can give co-host rights to someone who can also.
No problem. I'll be there. I'll help you with that on the request.
That's perfect. Oh, give me just one sec before I am just trying to get something here. Yeah. When I'm about to start, probably just ready to start. I'll start with the Mangalacharan prayers. Okay.
Yes, bro.
Then we proceed. To on my to go. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरून् दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाभूतले श्रीमते महापुरुषामितनां नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाभूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिधि नाम्ने नमस्ते सारस्वते गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे धन्यवाद। Hare Krishna Prabhu's Mataji's, Dandavad Pranam. So nice to see you all. We will, as Gaurchandra Prabhu kindly invited us. My sincere gratitude to Prabhu for giving us an opportunity to associate with you all, and also glorify the deep science of Srimad Bhagavatam, the transcendental science of Srimad Bhagavatam, science of God. So now I understand that most of you are pretty much you all are aware of say the shlokas, and you would have gone through some classes which you might have uh, you might have attended, and you might be some of you might be giving classes also, and there's a lot of things preaching and other things, right? So one of the important things that which many devotees had asked over time is that Bhagavad Gita, yes, to a certain extent we know. Um, it's where we can recite, but Bhagavatam, there are, say, with all those 18,000 shlokas, we don't know how to recite some of them, or some of them like recite in a different way, So I'm with this thing, many devotees, when they asked for some thing about some questions on how to recite and how to pronounce, etc. And by and large, when I used to be trained by my spiritual master, His Holiness Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, he was always focusing on uh, very importantly, he was focusing on the sound vibration, how we should associate with the sound vibration of Krishna in the form of the holy names, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, etc. So he would give us lot of tips and instructions on the ways to recite Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Not only the ways to recite, but also the importance of why we should recite it correctly. Why we should not neglect the Sanskrit sound vibrations, right? So that is something which he always insisted on, and he gave us uh, say the different types of chandas which we follow to recite those slokas. Then when I went through a little bit more into that science with the guidance of Maharaj, then he would give the names of a few of the chandas, and then the importance of Shabda and all. So I started uh, trying to do a little bit more research into how all these things came in through Bhagavatam and through other sources also. I was really surprised to see that there is so much uh, a scientific, very deep connection between our physical, mental, spiritual health, and the way we approach this Shabda avatar of Krishna, Shabda Dvani, we call it, no? The sound form of Krishna. So that really gave a lot of insight, and there is so much science involved in it. So much very deep research, or I wouldn't say, if you do that research, we'll find that what is already existing. So in this today, and say one session more, actually when I did this as part of the Adhyatma Deepam course about how to study and approach Srimad Bhagavatam, in that this Chandras was one particular section, and this itself took more than 4 hours, actually 2-3 sessions it took, because devotees started asking a number of questions. So there is a very systematically organized rules and guidance given by all our saints and sages to approach this sound for the sound, the shlokas, and the sound form of Krishna. So before we go into there are two sections to this. One is Shabdas and another is Chandas. Shabda is the sound vibration, Shabda form of the Lord. The importance of Shabda we should realize and understand and realize first before we go into the Chanda part. So in Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita itself, you will see a lot of references to the importance of the Shabda form of the Lord. How much it plays a very, very significant role in our spiritual culture. As much as the prasadam is required to keep our body all right, body, mind, and the senses all right. The same way, our association with Krishna in the form of sound vibration plays a very vital role in keeping our connection with the spiritual connection with the anti-material substance, that is the transcendental Lord. Right? So the connection to the transcendental world. So with that little small introduction, I'll just share with you some of the slides which we have prepared during the course of that that Adhyatmadipam course, where we prepared the Chandas and Shabda, the deep hidden knowledge under that. Okay, so before that, if you have any questions or anything, you can type it in the chat. I will see if I can cover them as part of the. You can do it at a later point also. Right away, if you have also, you can type it. So that I will ensure that during our list couple of these sessions, we will cover as much as possible, whatever is your questions are. Okay. So let me go into the first to begin with. Let me go into the significance of reciting the shlokas. Many times we ask this question, why I should recite the shlokas? Anyway, Prabhupada says that it's a more important thing is to the most important thing is to do devotional service. Why should I give so much importance to reciting the shlokas and reciting the verses and knowing more about it? What is the reason? But you will see when you will understand Prabhupada's quote on that, on the importance of sound vibration, you will see how much he really wanted us to do that part as equally important as his focus on preaching. So let me share the some of the slides which I prepared for this same thing. Okay, let me do share screen. Hope I will be allowed to show the share screen. Okay. Hope you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, it is loading. Yes, bro. We are.
Now, if I do the slideshow, are you able to see it?
It is still not in the slide mode. We are waiting for it to come in slide mode. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it is in the slide mode, bro. Yes, it is.
You are able to see now?
Yes, yes, I'm able to see, bro.
You don't, you are not seeing anything on the Zoom thing on the side, no?
No, Prabhu, it's clearly the PPT only in the presentation mode.
Okay, fine. That's perfect. So this is some of the areas which I covered as part of the this chandas and shabdas. First is significance of reciting the shlokas. This we will see from one of Prabhupada's lecture, one small quote, how much he gave importance to it. And then the connection between chanda and shabda. We will have an overview and the various shastric references that refers to the actual thing about shabda and chanda, right? Then there is also a beautiful, nice reference to from Panini Shiksha, because we see that Panini is one who played a very important role in bringing the Sanskrit things into our to our knowledge. So there is a nice thing about how the whole thing about the sound gets transformed from desire into the actual words. That's a beautiful shloka there. And then we will then go on to the syllables and the rules. How do you syllables we call as aksharas. Akshara alphabet in English is different from akshara in Sanskrit. In our languages, in our mother tongues, we don't go by A, B, C, D, E like that. There is a connection between the vowels and the consonants, and all those rules we will see. And then how the syllables get transformed into another next level called ganas, And those ganas, when they combine together, they form certain different combinations of chandas. And these chandas have different names and they have certain rules also. And based on those, the number of aksharas, the types of the ganas, and all those things put together, types of the gana, all those things put together, then which chanda to sing, which shloka to which sing in which chanda, which belongs to which chanda, and then the associated the ragas or tunes also will be there. One chanda can be sung in different ragas, but chandas will be the only one. You will have only one chanda there for a rule, for a particular shloka verse. And then we will come to these different chandas in the Srimad Bhagavatam. You will be surprised to know how many chandas are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so up to this point, hope everything is okay. This is what we'll cover. And I would also request devotees to unmute and read certain sections if you are able to. Please, if you can go ahead and read this Prabhupada's quote from a lecture given in Tokyo 1972. So he speaks about the importance of actually, whatever Prabhupada refers to here as meter is nothing but chanda in Sanskrit. In English, they call it as meter. So why don't we, someone can say, okay, Prashanti Mataji raised her hand. So if that is for a question or for reading this,
No,
Mataji?
generally for reading also they raise their hand.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead, Mataji. And anyone who is raising your hand for question also, please go ahead and raise. You don't have to type it only in the chat. Okay, I'm right now not seeing the chat. So because I am in presentation mode, so if you can unmute or raise your hand and ask your questions also, I'm fine with it. So Mataji, Prasanti Mataji, why don't you go ahead and read this, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Pranam,
Mataji.
Prabhuji. Srila Prabhupada quote on recitation. The thing is hearing the meter and repeat. That's all. The writing is already there. Transliteration. Simply you have to hear the written. Just like you have chanted so many verses, songs by hearing, the hearing is very important. A child learns another language simply by hearing, pronunciation, hearing. That is natural. If we hear one thing repeatedly, you will learn. You will learn. So one has to hear little attentively, then it will be easy.
See, we'll stop after every paragraph and understand. Otherwise, no, we'll skip a few points. Otherwise,
Sure,
see here.
Prabhuji.
So Prabhupada is giving a very simple approach here. You hear the meter and repeat, right? Yes, we sing so many bhajans, or morning Mangalarti bhajans, or evening Gaurarti. How do we sing with that meter? Because we keep repeatedly hearing, automatically it comes. And then Prabhupada is telling about an important thing about transliteration. It is not translation, it is transliteration. What does it mean? Like suppose in Sanskrit, some of you may not know the Sanskrit aksharas, don't worry about it. That is where Prabhupada has done a very major service to us, that he has given the English diacritical marks. You would have seen that the English diacritical marks, which with the dash over yes, dot under yes, like that. Those represent the sha, like that, those aksharas, the letters in our Sanskrit, right? Devanagari script. So this Prabhupada has given very beautifully this transliteration. With that, even without knowing the aksharas, the Sanskrit aksharas, you will be able to recite an exact pronunciation. That is a beauty. And you hear, and whatever is written, you just hear, you see, and you recite. That's it. And Prabhupada is here highlighting on the importance of hearing. A child learns another language simply by hearing, pronunciation and hearing. You will see, I was surprised to see, Prabhu's Mataji's, you would have been knowing when children at your home also, that when they are like 7, 8 years or 9 years or 10 years, like that, when they are around that age, starting around that age, you will see that they are very easily they are picking up other languages, isn't it? One of my devotee friends, very good friend of mine, his son is hardly 8 years old and he speaks Japanese just like that. And another boy, another girl, she is speaking French just like that. How are they able to pick up language so easily? It's not just because they have a bright memory, whatever. I mean, they're very young. Not like that. It is just that, little bit of focus, easily we can pick it up. Just that courage is needed. Courage and the confidence is needed. That is what Prabhupada is giving here. So you're saying here little attentively, little attention is required. That's all. Then it will be automatically easy. Then please, someone else wants to read the next paragraph. If not, Prashanti Mataji can continue.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes,
Yeah,
Vishwanath.
please.
You will have no difficulty. Just like you are singing our song in tune, sings Samsara Dava Lidaloka. So this is by hearing. So simply you have to hear. Therefore, whole Vedic Shastra is called Shruti. It is a process of hearing. So you have to study like that. So many shlokas. I'm taking so much labor. If you do not read it carefully, it is not that I'm making business for selling only and not for my students. You must all read like this. Practice. Why so much why so much trouble is being taken? Word to word meaning and then transliteration. If you chant this mantra, that vibration will cleanse the atmosphere.
Thank you, Mataji. See, I highlighted this this because I found it to be something which is not very widely propagated. While yes, we talk about distribution of Prabhupada's books, distributing Prabhupada's books, which is really the most important service, of course. But one thing I've always confidentially discussed with other senior Vaishnavas like Radhesham Prabhu, Gauranga Prabhu, Gauranga Darshan Prabhu is also doing wonderful seva. He also told me this, that see, we are doing that part nicely, which is fine. But how many of us are taking the effort to study Prabhupada's book seriously? Especially starting from the shlokas. That's why Prabhupada, when he is writing this, I am taking so much labor. If you do not read it carefully, it is not that I am making business for selling only and not for my students. This is very, very important thing. Prabhupada is, he's very, I think he's speaking from his heart, because he is doing all this for our well-being, for us who have come all the way from material world to the spiritual path. He is kindly giving us this process to how we can stay on and progress in the devotional path, right? So much labor purpose. So otherwise, how who would have taken this much labor to put the Sanskrit there, and then the English diacritical transliteration there, then word-to-word meaning there, and on top of it translation there, then purport. So much for one shloka. Imagine so much, 18,000 plus 700 plus and many more shlokas is that in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nectar of Instruction. You can't count all of them put together. It is so much. It is. Who he's from his heart is saying that, please, I am writing all these things for your benefit. You don't take advantage of this and relish it yourself and become better devotees. Instead, you only use it as a means of selling and then getting some. Of course, there are many devotees who really see Prabhupada in the books and distribute, and they are happy to give Prabhupada to others. But not everybody opens the book and read it, unless and until you train them or give them some guidance as to how to read them. And for that, we need to know how to read how to relish Prabhupada's books. Because one thing is to buy the book, another is to even study the books of Prabhupada. But only when you relish the words of the Vani, Prabhupada's Vani, will you be able to actually apply it in your life and be happy for it. Otherwise, what will happen is I will do it as a mechanical, ritualistic thing, which will not work in the long run, especially when the difficult times comes, challenging time comes, these things would not come to our rescue when we are looking for help. And that's where it's very, very important to understand that all these shlokas are not different from Krishna himself directly. Okay, let's see, if you chant this mantra, that vibration will cleanse the atmosphere, Prabhupada is saying. Here the word Prabhupada is using the word atmosphere. Atmosphere is not the physical thing that we are talking about surrounding me, maybe this room, or we say maybe some area in which we are doing it. It's not just the physical area. The atmosphere includes the spiritual the living entities there. That place there is enriched or surcharged with the spiritual sound vibration, which is filled. Sound vibration actually means it is filled with Krishna. That anybody who comes there, they automatically feel peace of mind, even though they may not know anything about devotional service, don't know anything about Krishna consciousness or bhakti, or they just come there. That is why in the temples and all, people feel a peace of mind. Why? Because constantly the chanting, sound vibration is going on in the form of shlokas, bhajans, kirtans, lectures, and discussions on the various topics, spiritual topics. So this then this is all heart-to-heart connection. It's not simply some like some knowledge I have. You also have a knowledge, not like from say brain to brain. It's some heart-to-heart connection. That is why many times people come to the temples or satsangas and they become devotees. How? Because presence of Krishna, touch of Krishna is there through the association of devotees and the program, right? So it's a very important thing to note here. See, that's why Prabhupada is saying so much trouble is, why so much trouble is being taken? Word to word meaning and then transliteration, and then purport, everything is doing. Because when you chant these things with good faith and conviction, then naturally it will cleanse the atmosphere. Jagat pavitram pragranita karkichit. That atmosphere includes the entire Jagat, not only just a small room or small suburb or small city or small country, nothing. It's not, it can purify the whole universe. That is why that Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which Prabhupada chanted in New York, is now spread all over the world. And it is purifying, it is bringing so many devotees, right? This is a tangible proof in front of us. Okay, the last paragraph. Who would like
Padma Mataji, you raised your hand. Please read.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranams. And wherever you go, in any part of the world, if you can chant this mantra, oh, you'll be received like God. It is so nice. And in India, he'll actually receive like godly, I can see that.
Like
and you chant this mantra. Yeah, you chant this mantra. They will so offer their respects. So many Ved the mantra, very good. Yes, in this way, each one of you chant and others will follow. Then 1 or 2 days, you get the sloka by heart. You can chant, it is not difficult. Lecture on Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.1 Tokyo 1972. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So this entire thing, Prabhupada has given. Many places Prabhupada has talked about the importance of reciting, chanting the shlokas. That is why in his Bhagavatam class, Bhagavad Gita class, he has made it a practice that once the speaker recites the shloka, few from the audience should recite also. That is when, and then others should repeat. Because when you chant and repeat, the beauty of Sanskrit shlokas is that when you chant in the meter and then you repeat, then few times you do and then you automatically remember it. Like how people remember Samsara Davan and Loka. Because every day we chant and within a short time we will get it there and learn it by. Same is the case with Shikshashtakam or Gaurarti or, all this different Brahma Samhita and all we learn by heart. This comes by just a regular repeated recitation, that's all. I see a few raised hands here. Are they all for reading or any questions are there?
Mostly for reading, Prabhu.
Reading, huh? Okay.
Yeah. We generally take the question and answer session at the end.
Now I will, for this particular seminar, Prabhu, let's keep it anytime they can ask question, because if they keep it to the end, then there may not be time to connect all the shlokas. I would like it to be interactive, so let devotees ask in between also, no problem. Maybe if you can, I request you to change the rule a little bit.
No problem. Devotees, if you have any question, please you can unmute
and
Let the
ask.
raised hand be there for reading, but anybody wants to
Yeah.
ask question, you can unmute and ask.
Yes. Is there any questions before we proceed further?
Prabhu, you might be covering it. I'm still not able to connect with the chandas and the what is it, Shabda.
Shabda,
Uh,
Shabda.
yeah.
Shabda.
So still I'm trying to understand that
So
part.
the
Probably I think you will be
Shabda,
covering.
yes, Prabhu. I will tell in brief now. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you for that good question, Prabhu. See, Shabda is any sound vibration is called Shabda,
Okay.
right? And this Shabda form of the Lord, like you, even when you speak, it is actually Shabda form of the Lord. Like I say, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is Shabda, right?
Mhm.
This, when you say this with bhava, right, it actually translates into our connection with Krishna. If I simply say Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead without any feeling, then it stays right there with that limited purity only. That is why it doesn't cleanse the atmosphere. Whereas when you recite, when you say that with bhav, connection of that is, Krishna is really Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am his eternal servant. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalayor Dasa Dasa Anudas. Like that we say, no? So when we actually connect the two, Prabhu, with the bhava and the speech, then it purifies the whole atmosphere, right?
Okay.
So this, like for example, in Bhagavatam, there are many prose also. Prose shlokas there. In fifth canto, you will see many shlokas are in prose format. It will not have a regular, like a symmetric meter kind of a thing, symmetric number of aksharas. It will be like how I'm returning. I've written the English statements here, right? It's like that. Even in English, this thing literature, they call it as prosody. Prosody means it's a way of singing the song. Like we have rhymes and all in English also, right? Those are taken from our bhajans only, because in our thing, bhajans are being are sung for many centuries onwards, right? So they took it from here and they call it as rhyme, rhythmic rhyme, like that. So when that same shabda, that is the sound vibration, that is the word form, the shabda form of the Lord, spoken form of the Lord, right? When that is put in a symmetric metrical form so that you can recite with some certain tunes, ragas, then that is called chanda, Prabhu. Okay.
Okay.
So this shabda is a broad perspective of sound. That's a sound. Like say, any sound is a shabda. Like if I hit the table, there is some sound coming. No, that is a shabda. We are speaking. This is a shabda. You are all hearing, right? That is a shabda. When Prabhupada is speaking, or when we hear something from the TV or somewhere news, that is also shabda. In fact, to such an extent that for this, for example, if say this particular text is there, Prabhupada's quote is there, even if I don't read it aloud, if I simply in my mind I read it, like they say, the first line is there, the thing is hearing the meter and repeat. I'm not speaking it loud. I'm just, okay, I understand it because I know the words and its meaning, right? So the words and their meaning combined together, creating a what do you call a connection in my representation in my head. That is there is a form connected with it, form or some meaning connected with it, correct?
Yes.
Like when I read, the thing is hearing the meter and repeat. Okay, this statement makes some meaning to me because I know the word, what is hearing, what is meter, what is repeat. Right?
Yes.
So this whole thing put together is Shabda. And now the same thing, if you do with Bhav, for us to do with Bhav, our saints and sages, it has come all the way from Krishna, but our saints and sages have collected it and put it in the form of different meters, the same shlokas. The different shlokas in different meters based on the Bhav in which that particular conversation is going or the prayer is being sung, etc. That is why you will see Prahlad Maharaj's prayers is sung in 1 meter, Kunti Maharani's prayers sung in 1 meter, then Bhishma Dev's prayers are sung in 1 meter, so on. So each one of those are in different chandas. So this Shabda, in a broader perspective, includes all the sound vibration, anything that is in the form of the words and that translates into sound vibration and its meaning. On the other hand, the chanda is a particular way of reciting those shabdas so that our loving relationship with Krishna is developed naturally and eternally. Developed and sustained.
Yeah.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, when you say different slokas put in different meters, it means, is it the tune?
Yes.
Meters, when you say?
See, the tune comes in the end, Mataji. Tune means raga. You are referring to the tune or raga. Ultimately, actually, in Sanskrit, it's called raga. In English, we say it is tune. Sing it in different tunes. Actually, chanda is one step before that. We will come to those things. Chanda is like, you put the whole metrics, the shlokas in a rhythmic format, right? You have a beats, no? Like we have the in Carnatic music also, you will see that they will have the beats. The mridanga beats will be there, right? When you sing a song also, there is in our bhajans also, kirtans also, we play beats in a certain way, isn't it? So that beats, for example, you cannot have Duital played for the normal 3 beats, right? You have the Navamishwaram beats going on, no? The Damodara Ashtakam. That beat will not fit for Samsara Dava, correct? Or,
Yes.
or for example, you have the Gaurarti. You may not be able to sing that, right? So the shabda, the shlokas are collectively put together, consolidated in such a way that certain beats or certain rhythm is there. Chanda is pretty much close to the rhythm. There is a rhythm to each of those lines, and that rhythm is formed by the ganas and aksharas, etc. You will be surprised to know that these are all so scientific that they are connected to our blood circulation, our breathing, the thing, our vayu circulation, everything is connected with this different chanting, the recitations. They say those who are reciting properly and with nice, they have automatically pranayama, that breathing exercise, everything is included in it. So that chanda is the different rhythmic patterns, if you want to call it in English that way. And that rhythmic pattern, chanda, can be sung in different ragas. For example, before we get into that, I'll just tell one small one small example right there. So our famous Bhagavad Gita shlokas, they are called Anushtup. Anushtup means there are 8 aksharas in each line. In Sanskrit, each line is called pada. And there are 4 lines, 4 padas in each shloka. Like always you send 4 lines, no? So Anushtup, you will see that in Sanskrit, of course, it will be written in 2 lines, but in English, you will see that there are 4 this thing. So 4 into 8, 32 aksharas are there in their total. If you count, you will know how to count the aksharas also. Those rules also will discuss. Now, this Anushtup Chanda, it's a starting one in our Shastras predominantly. The Anushtup is the one. For example, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Raja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. This is one way of reciting the Chanda Anushtup, right? Now, this is one raga, one tune, you can call it. Another way you can recite the same thing is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami Ma Shuchaha. This is different raga, right? But the same chanda. So one chanda can be sung in multiple ragas, but you cannot sing all chandas in all ragas. For example, one raga that is used for another chanda may not be used for this chanda. For example, Sarvasya Chaham Pradisannivishto matta smritirjnanamohanam cha vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. This is this in this each line. This is another meter. It's called Upjati. This meter has 11 aksharas in each line. So there are total 44 aksharas in the 4 lines put together. So the Anushtup was 8 in each line. So that is only 32. So that one and this one you cannot sing in the same raga. You understand what I'm saying?
Somewhat, Prabhuji.
Somewhat. No, you will get to it slowly as we go into the different examples. But you need to be a bit patient because there will be some. It will look a bit technical, but it is not technical. It is very, very nice to go through. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Sheila Mataji, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Sheila Mataji.
Unmuted.
She is unmuted, but not sure. Okay, Sunita Mataji raised her hand.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, pranam.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we sing in a different tune, like,
Yes.
Bhakta Pada Duliyara, Bhakta Pada Jala, Bhakta Bhakta Avashesha, Tina Mahabala. So it comes under which category, Prabhuji?
That that you have to count the aksharas. Actually, it doesn't come under Sanushtup, I think, as far as I know. It is a little different. Count of the aksharas is little different, and in Bengali there is a certain way of reciting. So that Prabhupada continued, and devotees all continue that way. But Mataji, see, for example, our Tukaram Sabang.
Prabhuji, no Prabhuji.
Tukaram Abang, you don't know. In Maharashtra, the devotees sing Tukaram Sabang. Famous ones are there. Anyway, you must be knowing some of these other bhajans also, like Vaishnava Janato Tenir Kahiye Je, Pidu Parai Janere. That is a famous thing. Many do. Many of us know. Even non-devotees know this because Gandhi kept singing this. So this is from Gujarat, from one of Saurashtra saint devotee. He Narsi Mehta. He has composed this. Now this is sung in different tunes, in different places. Right? This Hanuman Chalisa, for example. North they will sing in a different way. In South they will have some Carnatic raga to it. So you can, based on your intelligence, you can have nice Carnatic ragas put into these chandas, right? But not all ragas can be put into all chandas. That's what I am saying, because of the metric pattern that is there in different one of them. Okay. Hope that helps. But it may be a little bit abstract for now, but don't worry, I will show some examples and you will realize it.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. I think, okay, all others are only for reading, right? Archana Mataji, Sudha Mataji, and Kamalini Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so we will go into the next one where Prabhupada's one particular quote is there, which talks about the science behind the importance of the sound, Shabda. In 3:26:32, Prabhupada gives a very, very beautiful revelation into what is the importance of Shabda. So, can somebody read this first paragraph? It's a little involved. Please read slowly so that all of us can.
Archana Mataji. Archana Mataji.
Hare Krishna, pranams Prabhu. Jai Srila Prabhupada. It is stated also in the Vedanta Sutra that sound is the origin of all objects of material possession, and that by sound one can also dissolve this material existence. Anavrutti Shabdat means liberation by sound. The entire material manifestation began from sound, and sound can also end material entanglement if it has a particular potency. The particular sound capable of doing this is the transcendental vibration Hare Krishna. Our entanglement in material affairs has begun from material sound. Now we must purify the sound in spiritual understanding. There is sound in the spiritual world also. If we approach that sound, then our spiritual life begins, and the other requirements for spiritual advancement can be supplied. We have to understand very clearly that sound is the beginning of the creation of all material objects for our sense gratification. Similarly, if sound is purified, our spiritual necessities are also are produced from sound. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. So the reason I highlighted a few points here, it's a very, very beautiful purport Prabhupada has given. See, the sound is the creation, the source of everything. Shabda khe paurusham rushu. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Shabda khe. Khe means sky, right? The sound, I am the sound in the sky, he is saying, because from sound only sky or ether was created. So ether has everything about sound. The sound, you cannot see it, you cannot taste it, right? And you cannot touch it, but you can only hear it. But through hearing, you will be able to develop an idea of the whole thing. That in the second paragraph you will realize it. But this anavrittihi shabdat is a very interesting. Avrittihi, anavrittihi. Avrittihi shabdat, anavrittihi shabdat. Means we came into this world through sound vibration only. Because the sound created this Mahat Tattva and this whole thing, everything is created. This whole energy is created and sustained by the power of sound. Right? The same way, you will see that to liberate us, or for dissolving our material connection in this world also can be done through the spiritual transcendental vibration of Hare Krishna. By continuously chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, the slokas from Bhagavad Gita, prayers from Bhagavatam, etc., then we will be spiritualized. Because the sound which is coming into us, into our system, through these formats, is actually spiritual. And that will actually dissolve the material ingredients in us and to completely purify us spiritually. Now, who wants to read the second paragraph? I'm quickly going through this because we are
Sudha
already
Mataji.
in time.
Yeah,
So we need
Sudha
to.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay.
In the material world, we manufacture many things for our material comfort simply by hearing. They are already there, but just by hearing, one can transform them. If we want to build a very high skyscraper, this does not mean that we have to create it. The materials for the skyscraper, wood, metal, earth, etc., are already there. But we make our intimate relationship with those already created material elements by hearing how to utilize them. Modern economic advancement for creation is also a product of hearing, and similarly, one can create a favorable field of spiritual activities by hearing from the right source. Arjuna was a gross materialist in the bodily conception of life and was suffering from the bodily concept very acutely. But simply by hearing, Arjuna became a spiritualized, Krishna conscious person. Hearing is very important, and that hearing is produced from the sky. By hearing only can we make proper use of that which already exists. The principle of hearing to properly utilize preconceived materials is applicable to spiritual paraphernalia as well. We must hear from the proper spiritual source. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. See, these purports and all, very, very important. That's why I just want to share it here so that we'll note down and meditate on it more deeply. You see, how much of a beautiful example that Prabhupada is giving here. It is through hearing we develop the knowledge of building these different buildings, different temples and all those things, or different constructions. Now, huge skyscrapers are standing. You will get to know that, hey, somewhere this good cement is there. If you mix cement, water and sand together, then you can build a construction. Then they prepare some ideas based on their knowledge. Where is the knowledge coming from? Through hearing. So everything is ultimately created by sound. That is the whole thing we have to understand. Anything and everything. Suppose you hear something, hey, this is a table. I'm saying, okay, what is table? Then there is related all these knowledges will be there. You hear, then you process it, and our senses and our mind and intelligence, they process it and develop some memories. So anything you see is a square. This thing say, hey, this is a table. Nobody has to tell you after that. It's ask you what is this, right? So much of deep thing is buried inside this process, this whole process of gathering knowledge in the form of through sound only. Sound forms the basic ingredient of all our knowledge. So we have to give so much importance to the sound form of Krishna. Shabda ke, I am the sound in the sky. And he says, Om iti ek aksharam brahma vyaharan. Vyaharan means vibrating. Ma manusmaran, he says. You chant that ek aksharam Om. Om iti ek aksharam brahman. Vyaharan ma manusmaran. You do vibration and you remember me. Because I am Om. Om is a manifestation from my energy. I am present impersonally in that sound vibration form. As the Om sound vibration. Everything comes from the that Shabda Brahman finally. Right? So this is how, when we hear the proper knowledge from the right source, we also get the knowledge and we become spiritualized. When you get the spiritual knowledge. Okay. Now the two quotes from Prabhupada is over. I will move on to the some of the Shastric references about Chanda and Shabda. Before we get there, there are some interesting information about chandas. The word chanda itself means, actually in the English this thing also, there's a meaning that is given, that is pleasing. Alluring means attracting. Lovely, delightful, charming. It's enchanting, charming. The word chant itself comes from chanda. Enchanting, you say, no? That is coming from chanda. Chanda actually means these things. So whenever you recite something with this proper chanda, then you will be in the heart, you will be feeling some joy whenever you sing, and then peace of mind, joy and cheerfulness will come by default. And the root is actually chad, which means esteemed, to please, to seem good, to feel pleasant, that which is nourishing us, gratifying, or you celebrate. That is why whenever you want to celebrate something, you write some poetry, you sing some song. When you go to some picnic or something, you have some antakshari or something, songs. Why? Because there's always a natural joy connected with these things, right? So we have to be understand this beautiful reference with what is the underlying meaning behind the word chanda. Okay. The next thing is, you will be surprised to know there are a total of 13 crore 12 lakhs 27,000 chandas in all of, or if you put all the rules and everything put together and aksharas, everything put together, that many chandas are there in our Chanda Shastra totally. But actually we are using only 60 to 70 in all our Shastras in the last 5,000 years. Imagine, that's all we are able to do. Okay, like Char Vedas are there, no? Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda, Vedanta Sutra, Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavad Gita is anyway included inside Mahabharata. Then all the other Shastras written by so many other Kavyas and all written, Itihasas, Kavyas, everything. Then our Puranas, ocean of Purana is there. Puranas, Upa Puranas, Upakhyanas, so many things are there. In all of them put together, we have exhausted only 60 to 70 chandas. Which means there is so much more scope to do, or much more. And imagine how big ocean is this chandas actually. But in this also, 60 to 70, only few are used. Like for example, Bhagavad Gita, maximum only 2 or 3 is used. Right? In Mahabharata also, you will not see many more. Vedas also only 2 or 3, mostly they are used in that format. But Bhagavatam is poetic, it's glorified for its poetic excellence. And it's the most advanced Shastras of all our Shastras, because it is almost 30 of the chandas, known chandas out of these 60, 70 is used. 50, more than 50% of the chandas known to our thing are revealed to us, not known, I mean revealed to us, is there in Bhagavatam. Now you understand how beautiful is this Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam Shastra. And when Vyasadeva was writing Bhagavatam, how many more chandas that he had to use, based on the bhav, based on the mood, and so on. Okay. Now we will see a few shlokas and on the importance of the. I see Shobha Mataji raising her hand. You have a question or want to read something, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Just to read only I raised. Prabhuji.
Okay, Mataji. No problem. Thank you. So let's go to some few shlokas from Bhagavatam itself, which highlight the importance of this Shabda Dvani. Let's go to the first one. Sorry. Okay, now this shloka is sung in the same meter as Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sannivishto. Okay, I will recite this. If you are seeing it for the first time, you may not be able to do this with the proper pronunciation. I will do once. Later, we will come back and someone would want to recite. We can come to that. Okay. This shloka is a very, very beautiful shloka, and it will take a whole class just to understand this one only. But it's the importance of the sound vibration, how much important it is in our life, is beautifully given in this shloka. It's Bhagavatam 1.6.25. This shloka is spoken by Narad Muni to Vyasadeva when he is explaining about his previous life as a son of the maidservant, right? Etavadukvo pararama tanmahat bhutam na bholingamalingam aham cha tasmai mahatam mahiyase Shishnavanamam vidadhe anukampitah. Now, how many of you saw the clap that I did? Can anybody tell me how many claps did I do for each beat?
4 claps for each beat. Each.
No. Two. This is how many?
Okay.
This is called Duital. When you say Namamishwaram, Namamishwaram Satchidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyo Lukhala Dhavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Drutya Gopya. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now these beats, this is our beats, rhythmic beats. But this particular sloka, excuse me, this particular sloka meter will fit into Dvital only. You cannot do 3 beats and sing it. How much ever you try, it will not come. You try, it will not fit in. We normally do, no? Sansara Dava Nalali Dalvo Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is 3, right? This 3 will not fit in. This sloka will not fit into that 3 beats, how much ever you try. Because that is how the ganas are, the aksharas are formed. Why it is, they are divided it accordingly. There are so many different reasons for doing it, but there are different chandas are there to do the various slokas. So this sloka we will read. Can somebody read the translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Can I read?
Yes, please, Mataji.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Then that supreme authority, personified by sound and unseen by eyes, but most wonderful, stopped speaking. Feeling a sense of gratitude, I offered my obeisances unto him, bowing my head. Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Before we go to purport, this is what Narada Muni is telling to Vyasadeva. You might be knowing the context that Narada Muni, he was a maidservant son in the previous life. And he is assisting his mother in menial service like cleaning, washing, and all that. They were actually serving in an ashram where some rishis were staying there for Chaturmasya for 4 months. During that period, Narada Muni was slowly getting attracted to them, taking Mahaprasad, etc. And they teach him the process of meditation, the devotional service, meditating on Krishna. And after 4 months, they go away. Then after some time, mother also dies by a snake bite. Then he is left alone, 10-year, 8-year-old boy. He is left alone. And he goes everywhere just to find some peace of mind. He couldn't do anything, and he couldn't get anything. Finally, he sits in one nearby a river, and then he remembers the teaching of the sages, and he meditates on Krishna, and Krishna appears in front of him. And after appearing in front of him, he says, he disappears within a moment. Then then Narada Muni is feeling that, oh, this is great darshan, but then I should get the same process. If I do, I will get it again. Now he tries again with the same process, he is not getting darshan. Now after a lot of attempt, he become very frustrated, and Krishna speaks only from the sound. Only the sound is coming, it's not seen. So what he is saying, he's saying that I regret that in this lifetime you will not be able to see me anymore, because you have, when anybody with 3 imperfections cannot see me. Avipakva, Kashayanam, Kuyoginam. Avipakva means immature in devotional service. Kashayana means still material dirts are inside their heart, bottom of the heart, which is not gone away. Then Kuyogi, you have to perfect the process, the sadhana, the service process, you have to perfect it. Kuyogi means you are wrong, you are incorrectly doing it. We have to do it correctly. Like chanting, we are doing it in an incorrect way. Reading, we are reading in an incorrect way. Serving, we are doing it with not with the proper bhava. All these are Kuyogi. So these 3 things you cannot see. Then Krishna says, in this lifetime you cannot see, and he goes up, right? So he disappears. Then our Narada Muni speaks this shloka, that Krishna left me, but he gave himself to me in the form of the sound vibration. And so I could realize him, I could see him in the sound form. That is why this word personified by sound and unseen by eyes is highlighted. Nabolingam, Alingam. Alingam means cannot be seen, but Nabolingam means one who can be realized through the sound vibration. Nabha means sky. Sky is formed from the sound, right? And you also see one more word called Nabhi. What does Nabhi means?
Navel, Prabhuji.
Yes, navel, right? So this navel is what? This navel, for Krishna also, from navel only all the creation came, Brahma came and all the creation came. For us also, this navel form, within this navel, inside the body, that is where the fire is there, the digestive fire also. And that fire is the source of our sound, or the accelerator or generator of the sound there. So that is why when the singers and all, they sing from the Nabhi. You sing only from the throat, your throat will be gone very soon. So you will have to sing from the Nabhi to get the full effect of your singing, right? So Alingam, Nabho Lingam, who is personified by the sound. The Veda mantras and all, they chant from the Nabhi. It comes from here, from the Nabhi it comes. So who wants to read the purport now? So actually Narada Muni is very, very grateful to Krishna that even though you told that you will not reveal yourself to me, but you didn't tell me that I will not be able to see you. So I am able to see you through the sound vibration. That is a hint you gave me. So I am so thankful to you. My great gratitude to you, Krishna. And he is offering obeisances to him that way. So who wants to read this beautiful purport?
Sunita Aravind Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Sunita.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Purport that the personality of Godhead was not seen but only heard doesn't make any difference. The personality of Godhead produced the 4 Vedas by his breathing, and he is seen and realized through the transcendental sound of the
this
Veda.
is a beautiful thing here. See, he was not seen, but only heard does not make any difference. There is no difference between Krishna coming in front of us and hiding behind some sky or tree or whatever, and only sound is coming. In our case, it is different. In normal cases, The person is saying only speaking over phone and not coming to the wedding when we are given the invitation, they are not coming. Or they say, oh, I was remembering you. We don't accept it. We say, you didn't come to the wedding, you didn't come to the party. How can I accept your thing? Like that we will say, right? So, but in Krishna's case, whether he is coming in front of us or speaking from behind or giving us a mercy without even speaking, it's all the same. So that doesn't make any difference. That's a very important point to note here. Yes, please continue, Mataji.
He is seen and realized through the transcendental sound of the
Seen
Vedas.
and realized. See here, sound is only there. Nobody can see someone through sound. But then for Krishna, you can see him and realize him through the sound only. Such a beautiful revelation this verse is giving. That's why this verse, my Guru Maharaj spoke for 6 months. Every single class he will bring up this shloka and he will say, we have to worship this shloka because this shloka gives such beautiful 4 qualities. Right? He's a supreme authority. He is personified sound. He is the Bhutam. He is personified by sound Nabolingam, Alingam, and Ishwara. Bhutam means most wonderful. Ishwara means supreme authority. Why he is most wonderful? Because he is personified by sound, but unseen by eyes. Both, but in both cases, he is seen through in the deity form also is the same. If he is heard through the sound vibration also is the same. So that is why the deity is Archa Vigraha. These things are called Charcha Vigraha. Or they are also Mantra Murti. That is Vigraha Murti. This is called Mantra Murti. The mantra form of the Lord. Please continue, Mataji.
Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita is the sound representation of the Lord, and there is no difference in identity.
Yes. Now see, Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna saw Krishna and heard it. But we are not able to see Krishna in person and hear it. But we are still hearing it. We have the Bhagavad Gita with us. But whatever advantage that benefit that Arjuna could take from personal presence of the Lord is non-different to what we are getting by our faithful recitation and understanding and meditation of the Bhagavad Gita instructions of the Lord. Do you get me?
Yes.
Yes.
The conclusion is that the Lord can be seen and heard by persistent chanting of the transcendental sound.
So the persistent chanting of the transcendental sound is the most important part. You have to keep on chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. One day we will be getting that, right? But every time we are doing that itself, we are getting the benefit of association of Krishna. But we mature slowly and gradually by constant connection. If we leave it, then we won't be able to. You won't be able to get the advantage of it. Now, what I will do is, Prabhu, I think there's a quick time check. It's already 10:20. I think we should stop here. I also have another work to go to, service to go to. Is it okay if we continue? I know we are a little bit lagging behind in terms of the Shabda itself, but then it's okay. I want devotees to understand it thoroughly and properly and ask questions and understand it instead of, let's skimming through some part of it. This particular shloka itself will take quite some time to meditate on, but I have just given a little bit of a appetizer kind of a thing to it. So I'll stop here logically. We will read the next few shlokas as we go along. You are okay if maybe 1 or 2 questions maybe we can take from devotees, or if you normally stop it sharp at 10, I don't know.
No, we do stop at 10. We are little flexible. It depends on the speaker, based on their service, and we stop.
Yes.
Probably feel free to stop because if you have other seva.
No, 2 minutes. We can have 1 question or so if we can.
Anyone, devotees, anyone has any?
Hare
Please.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Narada Muni was able to see only once, yes, fraction. And then he heard the voice. That's all. If we think of our fate, what will be our position? Then how many time or these births we have to take to realize this?
That's a good one, Prabhu. But the good news is that we are in Kali Yuga. Right? In Kali Yuga, a lot of concession is given. Narad Muni was not in Kali Yuga. Okay. He was in the other greater yugas, no? Like whatever, Satyuga, Treta, whatever. So he had to go through that. In fact, it was in a previous pralaya, in a previous yuga kalpa, that when he had to come. So it's a good thought to know, because that will keep us humble. But at the same time, all is not lost, because in Kali Yuga, Krishna has given a lot of concessions and discounts. So only thing we have to do is simply by chanting, even without understanding the meaning, if you chant also, it will give you the benefit, Prabhu.
Okay.
That
Yes.
is also there. At least
Yeah.
half the benefit will be there. And you understand, you will get even more benefit out of it.
Oh, thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Yes,
Prabhu.
that is going on.
Yeah.
So we will make still more commitment to
Yes,
do.
like see, for example, this shloka, you highlight those key phrases, then you meditate on it. See, there is no difference in identity between Bhagavad Gita and Krishna. Sound
Yes.
representation of the Lord means, suppose I am saying I am the Prime Minister, and I am saying I am sending my representative to you, then they will give the same respect that they are giving to the Prime Minister, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Whatever
Yes.
they are saying that on my behalf, so and so person will act in my absence.
Yes.
And then we will say whatever signature that is coming from there, it is accepted as default coming from the Prime Minister only, right?
Yes,
So it's
Prabhuji.
like that. Bhagavad Gita is not different from Krishna. So when we go with this background, the knowledge, no Prabhu, then
Yes.
we will approach Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Hare Krishna Mantra with even more great respect and awe and reverence. And that itself Krishna will be pleased by that bhava, and he will reciprocate in even more hundreds of times to us.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
So
you, Prabhu.
we will make much commitment to
Yeah,
do.
exactly, Prabhu. Exactly.
Yes,
I
Hare
really
Krishna.
like your question and approach, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Prabhu. Hare
Pranams,
Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Subara Prabhu, you raised it because of you want to ask something.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
The sound means it's only meant for Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam.
Anything that is, Prabhu, sound means anything is sound. Like a lorry, truck, horn sound is also sound only, right? But spiritual sound is something which reminds us of Krishna, which connects us with Krishna. Okay. But the thing is, spiritually advanced personalities will even take those sound of the, say, crows cawing, or tigers roar, or lions roar. In that also they will see Krishna. Like, say, for example, some lion roars, then they will probably remember Nrsimhadev Bhagwan. You understand?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, every sound is spiritual, depending on how much you are connecting with Krishna through that medium of that sound. Sometimes people even hear Hare Krishna mantra and they will be agitated and irritated by it. They don't know the meaning of the value of it, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So it is like that, Prabhu. So the spiritualization of the sound vibration depends on how we connect, or we realize its value and connect to Krishna through that as a medium. I saw Uma Mataji raising her hand and
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dandat pranams,
Dandat
Prabhuji.
pranam,
You
Mataji.
can hear me, no?
Yeah.
Prabhuji, between the words, sometimes hyphen is given, no?
Yes, Mataji.
And it sometimes goes beyond that line to the next line.
In the end of the line, there will be one hyphen also will be given. Correct.
So you will be covering it.
Yeah. Those hyphens are given to actually reveal to us that they are separate words. They are separate words. So if there is a line at the end of the dash at the end of the line, it means that that word is connected to the next line.
So how to recite it, you will be taking.
Yeah. We will cover all that in our Chandas part, Mataji.
Okay.
But I do want devotees to patiently go through this, because without going through the significance of Shabda, you will not appreciate the value of Chanda.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So we have to go with the Krishna Bhagavatam. In Bhagavatam, Krishna has kindly given us these different slokas which highlight the importance of Shabda. So when we appreciate it, then when you understand how much our sages have put their mind and energy and concentration to develop, compile the shlokas in so and so meters, etc., we will be really in all reverence to them and we express all our gratitude to them.
Hare Krishna. Thank
That's
you.
the whole idea, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare
Prabhu's Mataji, I think we'll stop here. We'll continue from where we left, Krishna willing, next week, same time, 9 o'clock. I hope devotees, if you feel that you are not understanding anything in that subject matter, please feel free to raise your hand. And I am also not an expert in this, but through the exchange and through your association, maybe we'll be able to release Krishna in this sound vibration form and the science behind that sound vibration form. The sound is also Krishna only, the science behind sound is also Krishna only. And the ability to understand that science which Krishna is giving us is also Krishna only. Like Buddhir Buddhimatamasmi, he says that, right? So
ultimately, it depends on our bhava.
Ultimately, it depends on?
It depends on our bhava, how we say all this.
And these discussions help us enable that bhava, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Develop that
Thank
bhava.
you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very, very,
Hare
very
Krishna,
well.
Dandavat
Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai, Tagore Pramanande Hari Hari Bhagavan Chakal Vadara Vyashtakal Pasanda Vacha, Aditana Prabhu's Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, pranam.
Hare Krishna devotees, please next week join 9 o'clock because Prabhu has other seva, so he's cancelled it, one of them. So to take a complete benefit, I request all of you to join 9 o'clock next Saturday and also invite other people. You know the importance of how to recite shlokas now. So try to spread the word and try to get more souls to get benefited. It's a wonderful session. Very rare to get Prabhu. I've been trying to get him for last 1 or 2 months. So please make use of it. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, pranams.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Right.
Thank you, Prabhuji.